What's going on, guys? It's a beautiful morning. Everyone is gonna have a great day today, not just me, animals included. Why is that? Because we're going to Forbidden Kingdom. If you don't know what that is, I'll tell you right now. It's a great music festival here in Orlando. You should definitely check out my video. I'm gonna be posting in about a week. But right now, today, we're not gonna be talking about Forbidden Kingdom. We're actually gonna be talking about Bonnaroo Music Festival. Here's everything you need to know about Bonnaroo. Happy Roo. All right, so Bonnaroo. If you've never been to Bonnaroo before, let me just tell you, man, you're in for a fun time. It is definitely the biggest music festival that I go to. It might not have as many people as EDC Orlando. It may, I don't even know, I didn't even looked up the numbers, but this is the big camping festival. Basically, imagine like a giant farm, and then imagine being on that farm camping. So they basically take over an entire farm. That's why they call it the farm. Welcome to the farm, Bonnaroo. When you get there, you'll notice a lot of people say Happy Roo. That's definitely one of the things that's caught on there. So don't be surprised if you hear people saying that to you, because people are happy there. You're gonna have a great time. It reminds me a lot of the vibes of what old school Woodstock would have been like. Lots of good, great hippie vibes. You're not gonna have like a super headbanger crowd all the time. I mean, if you end up going to a headbanging set, yeah, of course you're gonna find those types of people. But in general, you're gonna have such a diverse type of people at Bonnaroo Music Festival. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things about Bonnaroo. It's just how big it is, how many people go there, and how people from all over the country end up congregating at this one location for one long weekend of music and arts. Going off that though, because it is so big, chances are, unless you get there Tuesday during the early arrival period for camping, you're gonna be walking a lot. You're gonna be walking far every single time you have to go to your campsite. I think last year my camp was probably like 3/4 of a mile, maybe even like a mile away from the actual venue. So they have two different names for the locations at Bonnaroo. They have Centeroo, which is basically the venue. This is where the stages are. This is where all the vendors for the most part are. And then they also have Outer Roo. Outer Roo is kind of like the farm. This is the camping. This is where they do have a small vendor village, which also has the House of Yes, which is a really cool thing. But basically, most of the stages are inside Centeroo. However, there's also one amazing stage which is not inside Centeroo, which is in Outer Roo, called Where in the Woods. Now, this is gonna be my next big tip for you guys, so don't turn away the video yet. But basically, Where in the Woods is the best stage at Bonnaroo. So if you guys have ever heard of Electric Forest is a amazing music festival with an amazing venue, which is in the woods. So Bonnaroo, believe it or not, was smart enough to realize that music festivals in the woods are a good idea. They have this small wooded area right outside of the Centeroo, which has now been turned into a stage. It's totally out of the ordinary. This is where all of the late night, early morning sets are gonna be, from about 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. So if you're trying to catch a late night set, this is where you're gonna wanna be, unless of course you're at some sort of after parties, you're at the RVs, or you're at group camping or something. Definitely you're gonna wanna be at Where in the Woods. This is the first time I ever felt like I was completely at like an old school underground rave. I've only gotten that feeling a few times in my experiences at festivals, but this is one place you're not gonna wanna miss when you're at Bonnaroo 2024, because Where in the Woods is the coolest stage. Another reason why it's the coolest stage is because you can actually bring in your cooler. You don't have to go through any sort of security. So if you want to bring drinks, if you want to bring your air chair, whatever it's called, the big beanie blow up float air chair things, you're welcome to bring that. No one's gonna yell at you about that. But keep in mind that if you're there during the peak hours of, I'd say, like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., you're gonna be causing a lot of chaos if you bring something big, because it's going to be crowded there for the most part. But if you're trying to just go there during either like the beginning of the night or the end of the night, basically the really early morning sets when people are starting to already go to bed, you'll have plenty of space. So definitely don't miss Where in the Woods. I know Alice in Wonderland is going to be headlining there Sunday night. I think Seven Lions is doing a set there. Sudden Death is doing a set there. I can't, guys, I can't. It's just gonna be so much fun this year. All right, guys, my next big tip is more about your health. It's more about your safety, and that's gonna be to bring lots of water. Please, please, please bring lots of water, drink lots of water. There are water sites set up throughout the campground, throughout Bonnaroo as well, so you'll be able to find hydration stations, but don't rely on those. Bring some good old-fashioned water bottles. Bring something like your hydration pack with you everywhere you go. This is the hottest festival that I have ever been to. It's right in the middle of June, in the middle of a farm with no shade whatsoever, so what do you expect? I don't know what number tip we're on, but I think this is tip number 5. Tip number 5 is make friends with your neighbors. Everyone at Bonnaroo was the nicest people at any festival I've been to in a long, long time. Everybody has such good plur vibes, and it's funny because obviously you do get some more hardcore, some more R&B, some more intense kind of like heavy sets while you're there. Like you might get Korn or Jid, I believe they're pronounced. So if you do see one of those sets, people there are super nice too, so don't judge. Everybody at Bonnaroo is there to have an amazing time, you included, so make friends with your neighbors, make friends with people around you at sets, and I think you'll realize that this is one of the coolest music festivals out there. Tip number 6, the trinket game is very strong at Bonnaroo, so if you're someone that feels awkward receiving trinkets and not having something to give back, definitely do your homework, get some stuff to bring with you guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what are trinkets? Trinkets are like little things like bean sprouts, clothespins that have special messages on them, glass ducks, little glass dolphins, any little thing, rubber ducky, something that people will remember you by and remember the experience that you guys shared together at Bonnaroo 2024. So definitely bring your trinkets. There's a lot of people there that will be giving them away, and I'm sure you'll want to give something back to someone if you feel that energy when you feel it. And my last tip for you guys, which isn't so much a tip as it is a notice. So if you guys didn't know, Bonnaroo Music Festival is almost always the second weekend in June, and Electric Forest is the third weekend in June, which means that if you're like me and you're off for the summer because of your job, it's a great opportunity for you guys to do a back-to-back music festival weekend, traveling from Tennessee for Bonnaroo up to Electric Forest in Michigan for June 23rd, the weekend around there. If you guys do that, I guarantee you will have an amazing time. Both music festivals are 2 of my favorites all year round, so I'm gonna be doing both this year. I hope I see you guys at some of them. If I don't have a great music festival season, I'll see you guys at Bonnaroo 2024. I'm off to Forbidden Kingdom today. See you guys later.